YouTube, what's going on everyone? Back with another video, and today I want to go into a topic that I wanted to do a different type of video on. I wanted to compare tire sizes of the 27.5 and the 29ers, actually showing video footage of me on a bike comparing the two tire sizes, how they perform, which in my opinion I think is better. But being the circumstances that we're in right now, I can't do that. So I decided to do a different type of video and just kind of give more of my opinion video, because let's be honest, there's a lot of videos out there that compare the two tire sizes. You'll see people out there doing comparisons, test ratios as far as speed is concerned on time tracks using two of the same bikes. With the 27.5s and the 29ers, you got videos out there that show a lot of detailed analytical data type videos regarding those two tire sizes. So because of that, I'm not going to go into that type of review. So I'm just going to go into more of a basic review on my opinion of both of these two tire sizes. So what I have today is two Maxxis tires. I have a Minion DHF, which is a 27.5, and then I have a Maxxis, which one is this one? The Aggressor, which is a 29-inch tire. And so I just want to show you guys real quick when comparing these two. And I also have another tire in the back. That's a Specialized Fast Track tire. That's a 29er as well. I'm just going to put these two tires next to each other and kind of compare them. And when you're comparing both of these tires side by side, you can see that it pretty much not that much of a difference when it comes to size. I mean, we're talking about 1.5 of an inch difference in between the 27.5 and the 29-inch tire size. So putting them side by side, you do see, of course, the 29er is a little bit larger, but definitely not by much. Then when comparing them height-wise, you can see as well that we're looking at just very, very minimal difference between these two tires. And I definitely wanted to show you guys the side-by-side comparison of both of these so that you can actually see the difference in height and in the actual size of both of these two tires. So not much of a difference at all, right? So the crazy thing about this whole situation is you have a lot of people who swear up and down or who live and die by the 29-inch tire. Which brings me to this video, because there's a few things that have happened recently in conversation and in just going to my local bike shop that has sparked my interest in why people want to go with 29ers so much. I think it's more so they're the popular tire right at the moment in this point in time, and everyone thinks bigger is better, so the 29-inch tire is bigger, so it must be better. So again, before I even go more in depth in this video, let me just state this. This is my opinion from my experience with riding bikes that serve both of these tires. So if you've been following my channel since the beginning, you know that I have the Nashiki Colorado, which is a 27.5-inch tire. I'm sorry, it's a 27.5 plus tire. Then after that, I got the Cannondale Catalyst. So I think that was a 29-inch tire. Then I got the GT Aggressor Pro 27.5. Then I got the GT Avalanche 29er. Then after that, I got the what was the next bike? Oh, the Epic, the Specialized Epic, which is a 29er. So I've had multiple bikes with both tire sizes, and so I feel as though if you're going to speak on these two tire sizes, you got to speak on it from your experience, not from just what you read or maybe test rode, but actually from your experience with having the bikes for a while and taking both bikes on the trail. So let me say this. This is just my opinion again and how I feel about both of these tires. I think that both of them are just as well. I don't think there's a clear winner between the two. I think both of them perform very differently depending on what type of riding you're doing. I also think that your height is going to play a big part of that as well. That's just my opinion. And I don't see a lot of people talking about height when it compares to these tire sizes, but I believe that is important. So I'm 6 foot even, 6 foot tall even. And when it comes to riding these bikes, I'm going to say this. Number one, the 27.5s, I feel as though I have more control and stability. That is a pro to me with that particular tire. I think that it handles switchbacks and turns a lot more easier than the 29er. I don't feel as confident on it when I'm going over, large rock beds that may have jagged rocks or things of that nature, or very, very technical trails. The 29er does feel a little bit more comfortable in that area, but when it just comes to control of the actual bike, I in my opinion, think the 27.5s have more control and stability than the 29ers. The 29ers, I feel like, give me more confidence on going over technical things, but I also feel as though someone said it in another video that I completely agree with. Sometimes when you're on the 29er, it almost feels like you're going along for the ride. It almost feels as though you're on that bike and you're just going along for wherever that bike is going to take you and whatever it's going to take you over. It's almost like you just don't have that tight control like you do with the 27.5s. But it's not that bad. It's not something that I would say is a no-brainer, like not to get. But it is a difference to me, in my opinion. And I keep saying my opinion because this is a topic where I've seen people literally make their selections of bikes based on a 29-inch wheel size. I've also seen people recently selling their bikes to upgrade to a 29er. When they have a brand new 27.5 tire on a brand new bike, they decided, I'd rather have a bigger tire. It's kind of funny to me. I was going back and forth with a guy on OfferUp who's selling his new bike. And I asked him, hey, I may be interested in that bike depending on the price. And I said, but I do have a bike that I may trade you for. And he takes a look at my bike and he says, yeah, I would be interested, but your bike's a 27.5. I'm looking for a 29er. Now, the funny thing is his particular bike that he has, I can tell he's new to the sport because I don't even think he's checked to see if it can convert to a 29-inch tire, which I think it can. But just the fact that he has a brand new bike that he's selling just because he wants to upgrade to a 29er is very interesting to me. Another quick story: I was in a bike shop right before all this Corona stuff happened, and there were two guys in there, and they were looking at bikes. And one of the guys kept telling his friend, basically, hey, come look at this bike, come look at this bike. And the guy kept saying, no, I don't want that one, I'm not interested in that one. And then the guy says, well, what about this one? And the guy looked over and he says, look at the tire size. Are those 29-inch tires? And the guy said, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, I do like this one in there. And I'm looking at him kind of, puzzled as to why would it matter that much to buy the whole bike based on the fact that it has a 29-inch tire on it. I do understand that, the 26ers are still out there alive and living, but they've kind of died down as far as popularity. But when it comes to 26, 27.5s and 29-inch tires, I, in my opinion, think that your height plays a big part in that. So I'm 6 foot tall. I feel comfortable on any tire, whether it's the 27.5 or the 29-inch. But if I had two bikes in front of me right now and I had to pick, let's say it was a brand new Cannondale Habit or something, or a Yeti or anything, any kind of bike, and one had 27.5-inch tires on it, one had 29-inch tires, and let's say it was the exact same bike, me personally, I would go with the 27.5. Me personally, and I know a lot of people think that may be crazy in this day and time where everyone is trying to get every 29-inch bike available, but I would rather have a bike where I felt more comfortable with control and stability and turning than I would that's just has bigger wheels that can kind of go over everything. And that's just my opinion. I think that's more important. The control of the bike and stability of the bike is more important than anything else. but my height plays a big part on it too. So I'm 6 foot tall. I can ride either tire. If I was 6'2" and up, I would definitely have to go with the 29-inch tire. I wouldn't even fiddle around with a 27.5 if I was about 2 inches taller. So yeah, I would say 6'2" and up, I would definitely go with the larger size tire. And then it also depends on if you are lower height. So if you're a guy or a female woman who's let's say 5'4", 5'3", then yeah, I'm looking at a 27.5-inch tire. Most manufacturers out there, you'll see their bikes, the medium and large, may have 29-inch tires on it. But if you get a small or extra small frame, most bike manufacturers won't even put 29-inch tires on it. They'll just go with 27.5s. And I think that's actually a good idea, because now there are some, like I know there are some Cannondales that do it, and there's some what's that other brand? I think there's some Giants that do it as well. But to me, it's it looks very interesting when you see an extra small frame bike with 29-inch tires on it, and the person's only like 5'2" or 5'3", and the bike looks humongous, and you have this person who is shorter in height on a bike that looks like it's just standing up tall. It's interesting. As the same goes for those who are 6'3", 6'4", who still may be riding 26-inch tires on a bike. They just look extra large on it because of the tire size. And so I think height does play a big part of it, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about that. So that's something that you may want to keep in mind. If you're 5'10" to 6'1", or 5'11" to 6'1", you're going to fall in that range where you could go either or. So I think that keep that in mind for a lot of you guys out there who are buying bikes. So for all of you guys who are new and watching my channel, if you're new to biking, if you're new to the sport, don't get caught up in the hype of having to buy a 29-inch tire on a new bike just because it's the most popular thing. I can tell you from experience from riding all the bikes that I named in the beginning of this video that there is a difference between the two. It also depends on what type of tire you're getting. If it's a race tire, if it's a grippy tire, if it's a tire built for mud and rain. I mean, that plays a big part in all of this as well. There's so many variables that come into play. If anyone says there's a winner between the two, they're lying. There's not a winner between the two sizes. It's just so many variables that come into play. But I think the biggest variable is going to be your height. I think it's also going to depend on what type of riding you're doing, what type of bike you have, and what you're going to be using the tire for. And so if it's just basic trail riding, like if you're new to mountain biking, you want to hit trails, you might go with the 29er because it's going to go over things a lot easier than the 27.5 as far as, like, let's say logs or rocks or big stumps and things of that nature. But at the same time, you get a fat enough or wider 27.5, you can go over anything. You really just need to do the research, and again, it also depends on the type of tire that you have. So the Colorado Nashiki Colorado that I have has a 27.5 plus tires. Those tires can go over anything more so than a 29-inch tire. So it just depends on what you have. So this right here, this Minion DHF is a 27.5 2.8 width wise. So this tire right here is thicker than the 29-inch tire that I have right here. This is a 29 by 2.3. So it's a skinnier 29er. So, when it comes to people saying, oh yeah, my 29er can go over everything, the 27.5 can go over everything. It just depends on what type of tire, what type of grip, things of that nature. Look at the grip that I have, and of course these are two completely different type tires, but if you look at the grip, the knobs and grooves on this Minion DHF, is the DHF? Yeah, the DHF compared to the Aggressor, you can tell this thing right here is going to go over everything. It's going to grip like crazy. So don't let the size fool you. Don't let people, the popularity, get to you. Don't let anyone try to tell you or talk you into having to buy a 29-inch tire on a bike, or selling or changing your bike, or trading it in or whatever just to get a bigger tire size. It's just a lot of more popularity and hype than anything else. I personally like both. There is no winner in my opinion. They both do a good job for what I want them to do. So with that being said, I would just take that in consideration. I have no reason to lie to you guys. I'm not sponsored by anyone or anything. I'm just telling you from a person who's ridden bikes with both of these size tires on numerous trails. You'll see how many trails I have on my channel, that I've ridden on. You can't go wrong with either one. But my whole point in doing this is to show that don't let people talk you into thinking that the 29-inch tire is a better tire. That's just not the case. You can't go wrong with either one. Also, try to find a bike that can convert between the two. You can buy another rim set and just have them on standby where you can convert both wheels, and that way you don't have to worry about it. But to trade or sell your bike just to upgrade to a tire that's 1.5 inch taller, that just absolutely makes no sense to me. And people, like, if you get into these conversations and discussions about it, how people get upset and just go back and forth, and it's crazy the kind of stuff that they believe or think that's better about this tire. It's just not that serious, and a lot of that stuff out there it just isn't true. And so yeah, I just think that it depends on your opinion, your riding style. Every variable is going to be different. What type of bike you have, what type of trail you're going to be on, your height, all of that's going to compare. And you can't go wrong with actually all three, the 26, the 27.5, or the 29. I think the perfect size right now for me would be a 28-inch tire, between the two. And that way I wouldn't even have to worry about all of this stuff on there. But it is what it is, man. So don't feed into the hyper popularity. If you get a good bike, you test ride it, and it has 27.5-inch tires on it, you're good to go. As a matter of fact, I'm actually looking at a bike now that's 27.5 that I may end up buying. More news about that later on, because I got a couple of more announcements when it comes to that. So be on the lookout for that. So other than that, guys, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's being safe. Kind of giving you a preview of, I'm sitting in the backyard of my garden. You can see it's getting even bigger right now, but I'm going to do another update on that in 2 weeks. But this thing is getting huge, man. So other than that, hope everyone's being safe. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.